Calm down.
It's gone. She's gone. The black Mamba's gone. So as you can tell by the title, I have been hit with bad news behind bad news behind bad news with my black Mamba.
How many times? 4 times? 5 times?
Oh man. No, so unfortunately I didn't. I haven't vlogged or kept you guys updated with the black Corvette. So.
Well, I think it's a good thing. That way you don't have the reminder every time you go on YouTube.
Like my chest hurts. It's not even funny. Like you're laughing because you have an AMG. Oh man.
Well, I'm laughing because I didn't have to pay the amount of money you had to pay.
All right. So in case someone bring you guys up to speed, I did buy a Corvette. It was like a limited edition, 9 out of 100, tuned by John Hennessy, 700 horsepower, 2014.
We'll have the link up here so you guys
Yeah,
can check
you
it
can
out.
watch.
I did a video on that.
Did a whole review on it. Here's a quick clip. Yeah, she was a beast. She was sexy. I love that car. You want to know how much I got that car for? Should I tell them? It was a steal.
It was a steal. It's basically having...
I never said how much I bought it for.
You know, it's a 700 horsepower.
$52,000. I got it for $52,000.
I mean, it is a great
The original sticker price on that car was $70,000. I have the original sticker. The Hennessy package to get it up to 700 horsepower,
30,000, right?
It was $25,000. So the guy that bought this car before me, he was in it about $100,000 if you include taxes, a little bit over $100,000. So 3 years later, the car only had 5,000 miles on it. It was down in Fort Lauderdale here in Florida. I went to go buy it off of him for $52,000. I had a steal, and I enjoyed it for like, what, maybe a month and a half?
Maybe.
Man, and it was so fun to drive. Like, honestly, that was my dream car. I didn't want a McLaren or a Lambo. I wanted a Corvette, and I got a Corvette at an amazing price. And she betrayed me. Oh my God. So let me.
She took your money.
I didn't even get a prenup. Damn. So let me backtrack. Literally a month and a half later, it leaves me stranded in a light. So I'm with my girlfriend in the car. I had floored it a little bit. You know, I never tracked the car, never nothing too much, nothing too serious, just like short burst 0 to 60. So I never took the car to its full potential. And it was a fun car. And then it leaves me stranded on a light.
And that's the worst thing. It was never
tracked. It was never raced. Nothing like that.
It's like, you know, it's not checking out the AMG.
People are like checking out the AMG, like, damn, look. I don't know if you can get it. No, we can't get it, right?
No.
If it wasn't stock, I would have shown you. It's so cool because everybody loves this car.
I know.
But
I think it's the sound.
Probably. Back to my story, you know, it leaves me. It's the exhaust, dude. This thing turns heads when you hear that exhaust. All right, back to my story. Who cares about you? So it leaves me stranded, and I'm so. What could you call me? Ignorant, maybe? Because I've never owned a sports car. You know, I've always owned trucks, and this was my first kind of, I guess you could say, sort of high-end car. Everything's electric in this car, right? The doors are electric, everything's electric, and I couldn't get out of the car. The car's completely shut off at a light, traffic's going, and I can't get out of the car because it's shut down. It's not even turning over, nothing, right? So I'm like, what the hell? So since Corvettes have a Targa top, I literally popped the top off from the inside. I lifted it up since it's carbon fiber, it's super light, and I jumped out of the car from the inside. Like, I must have looked so ridiculous, right? Well, I found out later there's a little safety lever on the side just for those purposes. Whatever. Long story short, I get it shipped to Chevy. They charged me $10,000 for a new crank, new cylinder. So I'm over here heartbroken that I even have to spend that much money. Whatever. So I pay the amount, get the car back. I think it was sitting in the shop for a month.
Yeah. I
get the car back. How long did I drive it for? A week and a half?
Not even. It was a week.
A week. I drove it for a week, and I was so scared of that car popping again that I don't think I ever took it over 65. So at that point, I'm like, all right, I'm looking for a new car at this point, right? Literally leaving my studio, the office, I didn't even floor it at all. I just hear this pop in the engine, something going off in the engine, and the engine stops, and my heart dropped at that point. I popped the hood, and there was smoke and a hole in the air intake system. At that point, I mean, I already knew what had happened. The engine blew. So I get it towed again to the Chevy dealership. Right at this point, I'm pissed because I don't have warranty because of the aftermarket parts. But it's like, damn, you guys just opened this engine up.
And that's my thing. I think they should have known that.
They should have
told you since the beginning, get a new engine.
Yes, because they had the engine dismantled. They told me it was completely torn apart the first time around, and they told me it was a bad cylinder. And then this second time around, when they dismantled it again, it was another cylinder that blew. So I mean, I'm no mechanic, but I feel like they should have seen that.
Especially if they have something completely
So at that
dismantled.
point, I was pissed. I was like, what? I knew I wasn't going to get warranty, but it's like, at least the shop should cover it, like, because I feel like it's like negligence almost.
Exactly.
Whatever. Back and forth, we argued. They ended up charging me $14,000 for a brand new engine. At this point, I'm like, honestly, I want to scrap this car. Like, I don't even want to see this thing. Like, I didn't want to pay it. But I did end up paying it. But at that point, what did I tell you? As soon as I pay that thing, from that dealer, I'm going to go trade it into another dealer and get another car. I want to get rid of it. I never want to see this thing again. So just my luck, right? So I get it back on a Tuesday. I drive the car back home. I leave it parked. So I literally only add 20 miles to this brand new engine from the dealer to my house. I park it, and then from Tuesday to Friday, because obviously I work all week, I didn't have time to go to the dealership. So I'm like, I'll go over the week. I'll go to the dealership on a weekend. I'll leave the car parked here. I'm not going to add any miles to it. So Friday evening, we're planning to go test drive some cars for me to see, where I'm going to go trade it in. I turn the car on, pull out of my driveway, and smoke starts coming out.
Well, at first it hesitated.
It hesitated, and then smoke starts coming out, and I'm like, no way, like, God, this can't be happening to me.
And then you turn it off,
and then turn it back on,
and nothing.
It didn't turn back on. So I popped the hood, and white smoke was coming out, and I'm like, no way in hell this engine just went again with only 20. This is a brand new crate engine from GM. And it just went away. At this point, I'm thinking of hiring an attorney. And I was looking to hire an attorney. I am not paying. I'm not giving these guys another dime, right? Either that or sell the car as is to a mechanic, somebody that wants to work on it as a side job, So I did put it up on Craigslist. What did I put it up for? Like $25,000, $30,000. Like, honestly,
I think it was.
I was gonna put it. I'm already taking a huge hit on it, but I'm like, I can't pay more money into this car. Like, I'm gonna end up in the street paying this much money. Like, it was ridiculous, right? So I get it shipped, and I'm like, I take it to the dealer, and I'm like, there's no way in hell I'm paying another dime. You guys need to fix this. So they call back. They're like, it looks like the engine blew. All right. So we're having a discussion. At that point, I
wanted to cry.
I did, but I also fake bluffed, and I'm like, I have an attorney. There's no way I'm paying for this. So I basically went back and forth. That's why I think they're shady, dude, because literally 2 days later they call me back. They're like, hey, Jose, we dropped the pan. Turns out the engine's just fine. It was a bad starter, $400 to fix. So apparently the starter froze up.
But
so
what
how are
they
you going to
tell you
me?
Was that you needed to get a tune, and that's why the starter
probably
got messed up. Now the second time it's like, oh, you need to tune it because it's going to happen again if you don't. The first time they didn't even say anything. They were like, here you go, the car is good, you can take it now.
So, but thankfully, out of everything, the car was running, and then immediately I put it up on Craigslist, and I described everything that went wrong with the car, and I found a buyer, actually. So, thankfully, I did find a buyer for it. I didn't end up losing too much money from what I bought it for, and the buyer knows everything. Like, he knows it has a new engine. He even went to the dealer to speak to the mechanic that worked on the truck. So that's cool. It's 100% full disclosure. He knows what he got into, but he's into cars and he likes fixing cars. So it's a good project car for him. And the car's still a beast. It's just giving me, it's like, I feel like it's a bad luck charm at this point.
Yeah, and it's too many issues. It's not worth it. If you were a mechanic and you could do this thing.
Not only did I lose my dream car,
you're carless.
I'm not carless. I still got my truck.
Carless. You still have your truck.
I lost a lot of money. I don't know what the lesson is, but it sucks. It does suck. So just like Juan did, I think I am going to be looking for another sports car. But since I've been going on all the test drives with him, I kind of already know what I think I want. I don't know. Can you get, from all the test drives we've done, can you guess which one I'm going to get? Because there's one that, when I drove it, I was like, wow. This one.
Should we do a giveaway? If they guess?
If they guess which one I get?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that many to guess from, but it's one of the ones he's reviewed.
Yeah.
I know which one I'm getting. So, that's coming very soon. We're going to be doing a full review on those, and hopefully when I get it, I'm going to be racing this bad boy, and I'm going to be leaving this guy in the dust. Hopefully. We'll see.
Hopefully.
But, yeah, that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little car vlog. We want to start doing more car videos. I think that's going to be cool for this channel. Let me know what you think. More like vlog style videos. But, yeah, that's it for today's video.
All right, guys. See you next time.
Peace.